Hello everybody, this is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I am back with another video today, but not just any video. Today I am bringing you Fall Challenge, a DIY Fall Challenge hosted by Heidi Sonboul. I am so excited to be able to bring to you some lovely fall ideals that I do on my channel, and I thank you so much, Heidi, for hosting this DIY Fall Challenge. Please check out the description box and follow all of the other crafters in the link. There'll be a link for the playlist in the description box below, so you can follow all the other crafters, because you're not going to want to miss out on all of the beautiful things that are going to be presented to you today. I don't want to miss out, so I can't wait to see what everybody is going to do. So again, thank you so much, Heidi, for hosting this DIY Fall Challenge. Check out the link in my description box so you can follow everyone else's beautiful fall DIYs and get some inspiration for yourself. So, without further ado, let's see what I got for you today. So you guys, today we are going to make a centerpiece. You're going to need one of these Dollar Tree crates. Actually, you're going to need two. You're going to need two of these Dollar Tree pumpkin crates. You're going to need some pool noodle. I found these harvest words from Dollar Tree. Came in a pack of 3. And you're going to need this beautiful pumpkin, or any type of pumpkin that you may have, that I found at JoAnn Fabrics. It was on sale, so I got it for like $1.79. And you're going to need some Dollar Tree tile and a piece of cardboard. I am using my Waverly chalk paint and mineral and my Hello Hobby chalk paint in the color Sage. So I'm going to start out by trimming around this pumpkin. I'm going to do it twice because I want 2 pieces of it. And the reason I'm using cardboard is because I only have one pumpkin, and I wanted to do this table centerpiece double-sided. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to do cardboard. It's going to be fine. You're not even really going to know. And I think it's going to be lightweight and just gorgeous. So I just traced around the wood pumpkin, and we're going to get it all cut out. Because I couldn't get in those little half moon crevices to trace that onto the cardboard, I just freehanded with a pencil a couple of, the half moon or crescent moon pieces that I saw on the wood pumpkin, and cut them out with my X-Acto knife, because when we illuminate this centerpiece, that is going to be so pretty with the light from the candle shining from those holes. Now that I got both of them cut out and ready to go, I am just going to go in and paint them. And I was going to use my mineral and decided, no, not the mineral, not for the biggest ones. I'll use the mineral on the small ones. I'm going to go in with my Hello Hobby chalk paint in the color Sage. Now I'm going to go in with, wrong paint again. I'm going in with my mineral chalk paint in the color mineral. Waverly chalk paint in the color mineral. You guys, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. So we're going to get those two smaller pieces painted. And that's why I said you need two of those Dollar Tree boxes. You really don't. You can use the one box. It's just that your pumpkins won't be the same. One will be solid and one will have the slits in it. So that's why I use two of those crates, because I wanted two of the same pumpkins. You can buy one crate and just use the two that are on it. Now I'm just going in with that Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral, and I am dry brushing onto my large green pumpkin. Just giving it some shadowing, some dimension, so that it doesn't look so flat. Now I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in Antique Wax. Just brushing it, darkening it up a little bit. More dimension, more shadowing, more pop. It's all about the pop. Okay, got those both done. And now we're going to work on our crates. So all I did was break off one end of each crate because I wanted it to be longer, because it is a centerpiece for the table. So I just wanted it to be a little longer to cover more surface on the table, but yet not so overwhelming. So all I did was break off the end of each crate, and then I'm going to put them back together using some of my craft sticks that I cut down to size. And we're going to do that long-term, short-term hold using some wood glue from the Dollar Tree in the center of that craft stick, and then using hot glue on the edges of the craft stick. And this worked out really well. I also ended up putting two pieces of craft stick on either side of the wood box because I wanted to shore up those ends as well, because you could see before that they weren't stable. So I put it on the outside and not the inside, because we're going to put a candle on the inside and that wood would have been in the way. Now we're just going to go in with some of that Dollar Tree tile and give these little green pumpkins a little pop. I love all the layering of texture that I'm using with this DIY. And these are the self-adhesive tiles, so I didn't even put hot glue or anything, and they seem to be holding up pretty good. I really like it. I've used it before in other projects and had no issue with it. So I love that it gives it that little bit of look of metal. And then we've got the wood, and we've got the paint technique with a little bit of distressing and shadowing. We're going to have some of the hula skirt in there to give it a organic grass kind of feel. I am really touching all bases here with this, and I'm getting all of the fall feels. I love it. So now I'm just looking at placement and where I want to glue my pumpkin onto the box, and I am not painting the box. You can definitely paint the box if you'd like. I love this natural box the way it is, and I'm not going to paint it because we're going to put that hula skirt inside, and that is really going to carry over into that box so that it doesn't look out of place. That grass, that hula skirt will actually match the box. You'll see. You'll see. So anyway, I just measured where I want that pumpkin to go, drew some lines so that I don't have glue just all over the back of the pumpkin everywhere when I don't really need it. So I marked where I want the glue to go, how far up the glue needs to go, and now I'm just adhering it. Again, using that long-term, short-term hold with hot glue and wood glue. Yes, I used wood glue on cardboard because isn't it just a derivative of wood anyway? Just cleaning off some of my hot glue. And now I'm gluing on my little pumpkin. I'm going to glue it to the side, and the small pumpkins will be glued opposite sides. One will be glued in the corner on the right, and when I flip it over, the other one will be glued in the corner on the left. Cleaning up that glue once again. And now I'm going in with my homemade white chalk paint, and I'm distressing it a little bit more. Just lightening it up just a bit, and I'm going over everything. Over the tile, over the cardboard, over the wood, all of it. Just doing a little bit of dry brushing. Now I'm choosing my stems for the pumpkin tops. So I am using some wood that I got out of my yard, some branches. And when I get branches out of my yard, you guys, I like to soak them in a water bleach solution overnight before I bring them into the house and use them. I'm just weird like that. Again, another layer of texture. The wood adds a beautiful layer of texture along with everything else. Now I'm picking out ribbon, just looking at what colors I want to use for my messy bow. So we're going to be making 2 of them. One for the front and one for the back. Cut out all my ribbon, I dovetailed all the ends, and then I crisscrossed it and tied it in the middle with a piece of jute cord. And I didn't do the bows exactly in the same order as to how I stacked them. So one bow looks different than the other, but I did that purposely. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach my bows to each side using some hot glue. And I'm going to use one of those big pink Dollar Tree clamps to clamp it down until it solidifies, until that glue hardens. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. And now we're going to start adding in our florals. So I have my candle that I'm going to use, my electric candle, and I'm just putting it down in the box so that I know how much pool noodle to use on each side. Now, before you stick your florals in, now is the time, and this is more of a do as I say, learn from my mistakes kind of thing. Now is the time to put in your hula skirt, because the hula skirt is really fibrous and not very easy to poke through. So if you put your florals in first and then try to put your hula skirt in wait a minute. Wait a minute. Put in your florals first, like you see me doing. Do not put your hula skirt in first. I took that part out because I had my hula skirt in and I had to take it out because I couldn't get my florals in. So put your florals in first and then put your hula skirt on top. That's what I want to say to you guys. Oh my goodness. So now I have some pumpkins and I want to add just that little touch of orange, that little bit of fall flair to my tabletop centerpiece. We're going to call it a pumpkin tabletop centerpiece. Is that too much? That's too much. We'll just call it a pumpkin centerpiece, you guys. Anyway, I'm going to add some of these little pumpkins because I love the color on them. And the stems that they were on were a little bit flimsy as far as the pumpkin hanging. They were made to be like hanging and flowing. But for this DIY, I just want to be able to stick them into the foam. So I took them off of those little flimsy hanging stems. And I always keep my floral wires when I cut flowers off. I keep the wire for such an occasion just like this. So I have some wire that I'm going to cut down and stick those pumpkins on and then just add them to my floral centerpiece. Y'all, this came out so pretty. It really did. And if your stem goes through your pumpkin, like two of mine did, I just added a dab of orange paint to the top, and it was just fine. Okay, now I'm showing you what it looks like. I've added quite a few florals in here already. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the pumpkins in. I added some of the white creamy colored leaves. I added some of the berry picks, the green and brown, and then the white ones or the creamy color ones. I added some little white mums. Just anything neutral that I had on hand is what I added to this pumpkin centerpiece, and I really do think it is gorgeous. I love the cornstalk pieces that I added in there. It just really gave it some dimension and gave it some height, and I just think it's just cute, you guys. I love it. Now, I didn't show you on camera, but I did go back and paint the little tops of the pumpkins where I pushed through the styrofoam. Showing it to you from all angles, front and back. And this harvest sign, I love it. I painted it with my Waverly white chalk paint, and then I scuffed it up with my Gator sander, and then I put a layer of Mod Podge on top of it. And sorry the light keeps going in and out, you guys. I am actually crafting with sunlight. I'm sitting by a window and the sun is doing whatever it wants. See the hula skirt between the little slits down inside the box? It just adds another layer of texture. I just layered texture upon texture upon texture. And I think that that's really what is doing it for me. I just love all the different textures that we got with this piece today. And this, you guys, is the finished DIY. I love it, and I hope you guys do too. So you guys, here is the finished DIY, and I absolutely love it. This is so pretty. It's going to be a beautiful addition to my harvest table for Thanksgiving. And it is beautiful on both sides, front and back. I love the color. It's neutral with a little pop of orange. And I'm just going to sit back and let you guys enjoy.